Today we're removing the stereo from a Lincoln Navigator. We're going to start with opening the tray assembly, removing the ashtray insert, and if you are able to reach into the side of this opening and release this bulb and twist to release it, it may be easier now than in a later step. We're going to open the center console, push the center tab in on the clip here, and remove this clip. To remove these clips, you have to have a small tool to push the center pin into the clip. It usually goes in about 1/4 of an inch. Once this goes in, it releases the locks on it, and you're able to pry this clip from the panel and remove the entire clip. Now, to reinstall this clip, push the center tab of this clip back through the base. You push it back into the opening where the base is flush with the panel, and then push the center pin in to lock the clip in place. With our pry bar, we're going to pry this control panel up from the dash along the back, the right side, the front, and the left side as well. This will release several clips. These clips release with pry pressure. And we're going to pull this assembly up and set it towards the opening in the center console. We're not going to release any of the connectors. There are 2 exposed screws, one on each side of the remaining center console, and we want to remove the 2 screws towards the front dash. We're going to set the parking brake and shift to a lower gear, and again with our pry bar we're going to gently pry the center console up, lift it, the back edge up and back away from the front of the dash to release the clips, and we're going to twist it sideways so that it sits out of the way and not remove this as well. Now with our pry bar, there is a couple of clips here at the bottom left of the opening below the tray assembly with clips on them that we're going to pry down. This is going to release the wire harness so that we have a little bit more play in this panel at a later state. With this clips release, we're going to remove 2 screws at the bottom of the pocket assembly, one on the left and one on the right. With our pry bar, we're going to pry up the left side, up the right side, across the top of the panel around the car stereo, releasing clips. Again, these clips all release with pry pressure. Once you have all these clips released, you can pull the top edge of this panel back away from the dash and access the connector at the clock assembly. The trigger on this connector is at the bottom of it, and you want to pull it up to release the lock and remove this connector. This will allow you to pull the top of the panel forward to access the connectors at the AC controls. There are 2 connectors here. Both again have triggers towards the center of them. You squeeze this trigger down into the connector and you can wiggle these connectors loose. These connectors are all keyed, so you don't have to mark them as to where they go back. They will only fit one spot. With these connectors removed, you can pull the panel up a bit to access the 12-volt connector at the power supply for the cigarette lighter. If you had trouble with the bulb earlier, it will be the right of this connector. Now you can release that connector and set this panel to the side, and this will allow you to access the car stereo. The car stereo has 2 mounting bolts. You grasp the antenna base and pull that directly out of the car stereo. This releases with pull pressure. It goes back in, just snaps back into place. The connectors here, again, the top connector has a trigger on the top. Push that trigger down to release the connector. The other 2 connectors have triggers on the bottom of the connectors here. You have to pull it up into the connector to release these connectors. You can see the white slide here on the back of the radio here that mates to a gray piece coming out of the dash when you slide the stereo back in to secure it from bouncing around. You can release the remaining connectors. With these connectors released, you can remove the car stereo from the dash. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.